punch press on this side. There's a coper on this side.
What is a coper for us idiots?
A coper is when you have a piece of metal and you need chunks somehow taken out of it, shapes. You're building shapes by hand. Okay. Now, normally I would do it with that because that's quicker than the coper. But if that's working and I have a little part to build or to fit, the coper works really nice. You put it in there and you build it, and it's a lot quicker than by hand. And you can take notches, you can notch stuff, all sorts of stuff that you can do with this. And again, their jobs sometimes cross. That one's quicker at what this can do, but if that's working, I can still make money with this. So I can do anything with a coper, punching holes, which includes square holes, oblong holes. Just with the right tooling, you plug the tooling in there, and 60 tons of pressure this thing has. Normally with flat plates, I cut over there, but if that's working, or it's even quicker yet to run a flat plate through here, I can chop squares, whatever, lengths right in here. I can do round stock in there also. I can do angle in there. So this thing does a hell of a lot of work, and it does even more with a hydraulic accessory. This is all hydraulic, and you can get a hydraulic out accessory. And this is an Edwards. This is from Edwards tool company. Edwards supports other tools. It supports that press. It supports a tubing bender right here. It supports a radius roller. So this Edwards is several tools all at once, 2 of them on wheels.
That's cool.
I move this stuff out and build out in the middle. You're not going to move that thing because it's like 2.5 tons. And this thing, the same. It's really heavy.
And it needs to be that sturdy so that it doesn't have any wiggle, and it can use heavy things on top of it. Right.
When you're working with 60 ton, 40 ton, 10 ton, I don't even know what this is. Things have to be robust, or they're going to come apart. So this is all American made, Wisconsin, I think, and Minnesota. Really good stuff. There's a lot of people making really good iron workers out there. We chose Edwards because of the tooling that they have that thing supports. So that one thing runs 4 tools. That one iron worker runs 4 tools, and it's critical tooling for us. Being able to, this thing alone, this little thing, 10 tons of force will bend tubing. This is square tubing, and we have several dies for it. They'll bend round, square, all sorts of stuff. This, a radius roller, this has gotten a lot of use this year. Radius rollers, instead of bending like that, will roll something like this.
And that's, again, just cutting down time and effort and everything, right?
It's the ability to do it.
Gotcha.
It's the ability. Without the radius roller, you cannot take a piece of square tubing, even thin walled,
It just won't happen.
do this. It's not going to happen. You're not doing this by hand. This is a perfect roll. You're not doing this by hand. So this needs to be worked through rollers.
Gotcha.
So it also does other things. They'll do angle.
What is this wrench? Like 1 1/4? This thing's huge.
It's bigger than that. It'll also do flat stock. I mean, this was straight. So being able to manipulate all this stuff, pipe, flat stock, angle, tubing, it makes a huge difference, and it gets us more money. I thought that this thing would take forever to pay off, like have a real long time ROI, and this thing's getting a lot more use. This was a strategic purchase because most small shops cannot radius roll.
Gotcha.
And since we had the Edwards equipment, and we could drive it off of that. We did a strategic purchase, and it's really been a moneymaker. So this was kind of one of those things that I need it. It's not going to get used. I was wrong. I need it, and it does get used. So
That's the best kind.
yeah. So you'll see a lot of tubing being bent and rolled here. Why? Because you can do it. For railings and whatnot, we can follow a path. We can
Right.
a staircase.
Right.
Make
Anything.
make them flow instead of cutting, welding, welding.
Right, which again is saving everybody on that process of,
It's-
and not having to, weld 800 welds. Everything's
That's
kind
the
of done.
big savings. That's the huge savings. It's actually cheaper, but you can actually do it.
Right.
And that's how I use the rolling and the bending the most, is to save time. You'll see over here on this steel, this plate holder, all this is rolled. It's all rolled. The feet, the sides, there's several of these stanchions in between, but it's all rolled, and that's stuff that I can have this entire thing done in minutes, where without that, I'd have to cut and weld. And that just lengthens that process so
Right.
much more. So finding time, this is how I find more time in that 24-hour day. I can find more time by not welding.